everyone, welcome to Faith and Yoga at St. Bartholomew's. I'd like to welcome you. My name's Dixie. I'm here with Fred and Aaron Porter, and we'll get started with today's class. Today we've chosen as our feature pose the down dog position, and talking about the stretch with that. Well, some of the stimulus or inspiration for this has been that we've just come through the dog days of summer. When I was growing up, we had a neighbor lady that would always say, "It's so hot, we're in the dog days of summer." And I used to think to myself, what does that mean? What does that mean, the dog days of summer? Well, now that I'm grown up, I'm able to find out exactly what that means. It's the period between early July, around the 3rd of July, and August 11th, when hot, sultry weather of summer usually occurs in our northern hemisphere. It's a period of stagnation or inactivity, or as it said, not even fit for a dog, the dog days. And for those of you that have dogs, maybe you've noticed on those really, really hot days, they're happy to come back inside the house, that they don't want to stay out and play too long. And even when they're in the house, there's more time spent in inactivity and slumbering. And also, for those of you that are stargazers, it's in reference to the fact that during this time, the sun occupies the same region of the sky as Sirius, which is the brightest star visible from any part of the earth. And it's part of the constellation Canis Major, or the Greater Dog. So that's another reason why it's called the dog days of summer. Well, regardless of whether you enjoyed those hot, sultry days, or if you're like me, enjoy a cooler evening, we're going to feature the down dog pose. And one of the reasons that we did that too is when you're doing your yoga flow, you want to create energy or heat, but you also want to stretch. And the down dog is an excellent way that you're able to do that. You still get a warm-up from your practice, but you get a good stretch, and it can be a little bit of a rest period in between positions. And then returning back to our dog Alistair, who was an Airedale, and just some quotes about dogs and thinking about dogs. Love is how excited your dog gets when you come home. Well, we found out that love is how excited your dog gets when your grandchildren come and when your own children come back home to visit. It's always a wild time before things settle down. And also another saying about a dog doesn't care if you are rich or poor. All he knows is that he loves you very, very much. If any of you watch some yoga videos other than this one, maybe you've seen Yoga with Adrienne. Her dog Blue is usually right there with her, but her dog Blue is way more behaved than our dog Alistair. When we're at home and we're trying to practice yoga, he's always there. As soon as he sees the mat comes out, he lays on it and waits. As soon as your head's down, he comes up and you get a kiss, or he brings you a ball to play with. But hopefully someday he'll be like Adrienne's dog Blue, and will just let us get on with our practice. Okay, so a little bit more about downward facing dog, the position. The position is a good warming up for your body, and it gives your heart a rest. The pose stretches and releases tension in the upper spine and neck, and it strengthens and stretches the upper body, and it also stimulates the brain and nervous system. So just things to think about while you're in that position, which we are going to be doing several downward facing dogs today. And I'd also like to share with you the downward facing dog card from the Christian Yoga deck. The position says, from hands and knees, tuck the toes under, press into the hands and lift the hips up and back. Reach the chest towards the thighs. Spread the fingers wide, middle fingers facing forward and palms shoulder width apart. Strengthen, but do not lock the arms. With feet hip width apart and toes facing forward, Reach up through the tailbone while pressing heels to the floor. Straighten the legs or keep a small bend at the knees to protect the low back. Head and neck hang freely from the shoulders. Bring big toes together and slowly lift one leg up to the sky, pressing through the heel and keeping hips even. And then repeat that on the other side. And the scripture verse that the author of this chose was, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. And that's from Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 through 7. And then there's a thought to ponder too. God's thoughts are not our thoughts, and his ways are not our ways. Where are you leaning on your own understanding? With your heart elevated higher than your head, ask God to give you his wisdom. Just some thoughts. And like we've been doing the past few months, I'd like you to take a moment and think about an intention you'd like to set for yourself for this yoga practice today. Maybe it would be to open up your heart more, to let it stretch out. Maybe it would be to stretch your legs more, make your legs stronger, get those arms moving, and strength. But whatever your intention is today, please choose one at this time. And the other thing I would like to share with you is that we saw a little news coverage about the eyes and the eye strain from all the tablet and screen time that people have. And there was a 20-20-20 rule. You should take a break every 20 minutes. You should stay 20 feet away. Is that what it was, Fred? I think it was when you take your break, stay 20 feet away from your screen, because you can't be 20 feet away at all times when you do the break. And do a 20-second rest of the eyes. So it was 20-20-20. I think the break was to back away 20 feet. So anyhow, these little eye exercises are important for your everyday use as far as yoga too. So keeping that in mind, let's have our intention and let's close our eyes gently for just a moment. Just let the eyelids touch each other if you're comfortable with that. Just for a moment. That was 20 seconds. Let's open up our eyes. Let's take our gaze up into the left corner of the room or to the area where you are today. And let's take our gaze down to the opposite corner of the room. And the gaze up into the right corner of the room. And a diagonal down to the left corner of the room. Okay, good. So we got our eyes ready. And we're going to start with a warm-up. We're going to take our hands up and come into tall mountain position. From this tall mountain, we're going to interlace our fingers. We're going to turn the palms so the knuckles are facing towards your head. We're going to take a gentle lean to the right, nice and slow, feeling the stretch on the left side and feeling compression on the right side. And slowly return to center. And take a breath here. And then take a lean to the left side. Once again, noting that stretch on the right side and compression on the left. And coming back up. We're going to turn to our right. And return to center. And And we're going to turn to the left. And return to center. I'm going to ask you to unloosen your fingers and give that hand just a gentle open and close up. And we're going to do this kind of circular motion using our hips and our arms, going to one side. I chose to go to the right first, doing that freedom of moment, and it shouldn't hurt, you should be enjoying it. And then when you're ready, reverse and go the other way. Once again, keeping it loose and filling it down through your core too. Let your hands come together and do a gentle back bend. Head's looking up. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes for a moment. And let yourself come back to center. Reach up with your right side and down. Up with your left side and down. And one more on each side, up and down. Now slowly let those energized arms come down in front of you and feel the difference in the blood flow and the energy that's your body sending through there. And you can give your hands a little bit of a shake here. And bring your hands to heart center. And we're going to open wide with a little bit of a stretch back, pulling the shoulder blades together. And then coming across for an embrace. Note which hand's on top. When we come back, switch arms. And across. Okay, good. Right back here. All right, well, we're going to get started with our practice today, and Fred's going to come up and he's going to do our kickoff for our practice today.
We're going to start out this morning in easy seated position. Hands to heart center. Hold this position for 1 to 3 minutes.
And while you're holding this position, now's the time to do your breathing for your practice. Breathing in through the nose for a count of 4, holding it for just a moment, and then breathing out. I know 3 minutes can seem like a long, long time, but it's an excellent warm-up opportunity. If your mind starts to wander, bring it back to your breath and this time of getting ready for your practice. Recalling your intention that you set for your practice today. Remembering that deep breath, in for 4, holding, and then out for 4.
Now we're going to stretch it out a little bit. We're going to lower your shoulders. We're going to reach those arms out in front of you. A slight bend in your back. Just reach those fingertips out in front of you. Remember to keep breathing. And do this for about 1 minute. Feel that stretch in your shoulders, lengthening the spine. Anchor into those sits bones. Keep your bottom on the mat. Continue to stretch. If you want, take those fingers down to the floor. Maybe walk your hands over to one side. Feel that change in your back on the left side. More compression to the right side. Back to center. And walk those hands over to the left side. Feel that stretch in your right hip. More compression in your left side. And we'll take it back to center. Reach up and out.
Thank you, Fred. We'll continue on. We'll come to tabletop position and do our cat and cows and get our spine ready for today's practice. Check in with your position. Hands are spread wide. Shoulders are stacked over your wrists. Nice straight line. Knees are about hip distance apart. Toes are pressing into the mat. On the next inhalation, let your belly drop. Gaze looks up. Exhale into cat position. Pull that belly button into your spine. The back pulls up, head looks down. Inhale, cow. Belly drops, gaze looks up. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Belly drops. Exhale, cat. One more of each. Enjoy this final cat here. If you need to wiggle a little, please feel free to wiggle a little. Come back to neutral in tabletop position. We're going to do 4 crunches on either side. So I just need you to bring your knee in towards your elbow and then push that foot out with a flex foot. So there's 1 on the right side, 2, 3, and 4. Let's do that left side. 1, 2, maybe you guess what's coming next. It's tiger time. So let's lift that left foot up. Right hand comes around and grabs the foot with a stretch. Good job. And release when you're ready. Take a moment to breathe. And here we go. Other right foot lifts. Reach around with the other hand. You can use your strap if you need to. And release. And we'll do one more on either side. If your feet get a little cramped, you can give them a little bit of a pat here. Left foot goes up. Right hand comes around. And release. And right foot goes up. And left hand comes to. Good. And release. If you need to take a child's pose, let's do a child's pose and just give it a rest for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in and doing your child's pose. Remembering at any time during the yoga flow, if you need to take a break, the child's pose is the way to go. And just for a moment, walking your hands over to the right for a stretch. Returning to center. And the strength. Stretch to the left, walking the hands to the left. And returning to center. We're going to prepare for the down dog portion of this. What we're going to do is we're going to come to down dog. We're going to let our down dog down to plank, and then from plank back up. And the goal I set is to do 4 of them. But if at any time you're holding the plank and you feel unsteady or uneasy about it, let your knees come down for your plank. The important part is that you get a stretch and that you are comfortable with the position. So just remember that while we're doing that. So let's get ourselves ready for down dog. Hands are out, remembering what I had read to you about. There was a lot to remember for just down dog. But tuck your toes and lift those hips up. And let yourself get a really good stretch. And you can let yourself do the groovy from side to side. But they also call it wagging the dog if you go back and forth. But let's just hold this. And for those of you that want to try shoulder stand sometime, this is a good pre-shoulder stand motivator. So from here, we're going to shift our weight forward into plank. And remember, if you need to come down, please do. If you're still holding your plank, we're going to lift our hips back to down dog. We got 1 cycle completed, working on 2. Moving it forward to plank. And back to downward dog. Forward to plank. Downward dog. And one more into plank. And you can come to plank. Good job. Good job, everyone. And you can give yourself arm shake out here. And just let yourself get a twist. And that was an accomplishment. From here, we're going to come down dog one more time to transition into mountain. So down dog, push up. Bring the feet forward into a forward fold. And I will meet you in mountain. So here we are in mountain. We're going to start with a back bend. This always feels good, having your hands at your lumbar spine. And just let yourself take a bend back. Head also looks back. From here, we're going to come to mountain, hands to heart center. Remember to breathe in. Get a little fire with our down dogs, but not too much of a fire with energy. So we're here at the mountain. We're grounded in. Head is nice and tall, spine is straight. Thinking about our breathing, our intention. And from here, we're going to do the Garland Pose or a yogi squat. So just let your knees bend down. Spread your feet a little bit if you need to. And let's go down. Wherever you're most comfortable with this position. When you're ready, come back up. Hands go to lumbar spine again. With another gentle back bend. Coming back to mountain, hands to heart center. Making the most out of your mountain, nice and tall. Our goal is 4 cycles of these 3 positions. And when you're ready, spread your feet a little bit and yoga pose. Good job. A little bit longer, a few more seconds. And push through those legs, lift up. Hands come to back. Gentle back bend. Hands come to heart center. Feet position for mountain. Position your feet as needed for your Garland or yogi squat, and down you go. A few seconds more. And push back up. Last round, hands come to lumbar spine, gentle back bend. Coming into mountain pose. I hope some of you got to go to the mountains this summertime and enjoy this area around us. It's only a drive away. preparing for Garland, step feet apart. And last time for Garland. And come back up. And give yourself just a little shake out there. From Garland Pose, we're going to come to a forward fold, bend down forward slowly, hanging as loosely as possible for you. Let the head hang loose. Let those arms hang loose. Let your arms do some loose arm circles too. Just letting the natural flow go. If your legs need to relax or bend a little, please do what you need to do. And then reverse those arm movements. Shake your head yes, shake your head no, and just let yourself hang as loose as you possibly can. Taking one last deep breath in and exhaling forward. Very slowly and deliberately roll that spine up. Let your head hang until you're at that point when your head wants to come up. And once again, let yourself have a little shoulder roll back, a little neck from side to side if you need to, as we prepare for our next position, which is going to be a swing twist. So feet are about hip distance apart. Once again, we're going to forward fold, and we're going to let our right arm swing, and our left hand is going to touch the outside of our right ankle. And hold and look your gaze up. And then just let the momentum take you across. Right hand comes across to the left. Gaze looks up at that hand. 3 more times. Arm comes across.